The sun's out finally. It's the first time the sun's kind of poked through the clouds for very much. I can't talk right now. I'm so tired.
I am in Alaska right now, and it is my 5th time being up here, which is crazy to think about. I've been up here filming a couple black bear hunts in Southeast Alaska. I filmed a Dall sheep hunt with Randy, and I filmed a Sitka blacktail hunt. And now I'm back here again, chasing moose.
Am I on film? Am I going?
I'm getting some B-roll of you. So Eric Lee, who took us on the Dall sheep hunt last year, texted me and said, "Hey, are you interested in going on a moose hunt? It'd be completely unguided. It's just a friend hunt. You want to come up and go moose hunting?" Yes, I would love to do that.
One thing that's really cool about being a hunting guide is you get to meet some awesome hunters who you would love to hunt with outside of the contracted hunt. And so I'm getting this opportunity to do this with Marcus and Paul, a couple of great hunters who have been clients of mine in the past. So they're gonna go kill some moose. It's gonna be fun.
Should be a good time. Pretty excited. We'll see what happens, but for sure it's gonna be an adventure. Yeah.
So where we're going is kind of in the middle of nowhere. We have to backpack in, and it's not gonna be easy. In fact, Randy told me that I am an idiot for doing this hunt. He keeps telling me, "Do you realize how heavy moose are and what the terrain is like to pack those things out?" And I'm like, yeah, I know, but I really want to go moose hunting. And you know what? Life's short, and I want to live it.
Yeah, this is as full as I've ever seen.
Dang. And we get to the first creek crossing, and we realize that the creek is a little high. Luckily, Eric brought a pack raft with. We're gonna load our packs in the pack raft, and we're gonna try to push it across and see if we can get across the river.
We're gonna start right here, and then probably end up down there.
Right, yeah.
Kind of aim, as you're going across, you just aim up this way, and it'll kind of ferry you across.
So we're gonna take team walking this guy across. That's the plan. I see nothing that could go wrong. Paul and I start doing that and realize that this isn't gonna work. All of our stuff's gonna end up wet.
Whoa.
You're already filling up.
Yeah. It's just rolling it under.
It's really tippy. We can't not dunk our guns, camera gear, sleeping bags, everything on the first day of the hunt. Change of plans. Paul just found a spot that's a little more uniform upstream. It's mid-thigh deep the whole way across, so we're gonna go with that. We're just gonna wear the packs instead, so. It's still a little sketchy, but we managed to put our packs on, we crossed the creek, and we made it to the other side.
That is skin-numbing cold. I don't know how to do it without.
Refreshing, right? So we're across the creek. Now it's time to head up into the hills and try to get to this basin where we can glass for moose. So we go a little ways further up the trail, and Eric sends his farewell. He says, "You know what? I got to get back to work, guys. Head that direction, glass these areas, and hopefully you'll find moose."
Eric's heading out.
I hate to abandon my hunting partners, but they're very capable.
Eric is a really generous guy for sharing his moose hunting spot with us. That's definitely a huge factor in the equation. I just found a pretty good spot, I think. We're up on a knob, elevated. We can see a nice saddle. There's a lake below us. You can see multiple meadows. I think this might be our spot for at least today. We set up shop there. We find a couple cow moose, and we're off to a good start. No bulls yet, but hey, we just got here.
It's cool. There's moose in the area. It's the third. So we've seen 2 cows and a calf so far. This is so cool. Hopefully a bull turns up, but even if one doesn't, this is already worth it. It's so amazing up here. I love it. You can see Dall sheep, grizzly bears, black bears, moose. Weather's great so far, fingers crossed. Sun's starting to come up. hopefully I'll see some antlers above the willows now. We'll see. It's gonna be a good day. I'm very tired though.
Next morning we wake up, and before too long, Paul goes, "Hey, I got a bull."
It doesn't look like he's 50 inches wide from here, but maybe he's got, enough brow tines to be legal,
So depending on the area that you're in, there's different regulations associated with what is a legal bull moose. Some areas it has to have 4 brow tines or be at least 50 inches wide. Other areas have less brow tine restrictions, and some areas you can shoot spike fork bulls.
Been sitting staring at him in the spine scope for a little bit, and it's just so hard to tell. Maybe there's enough brow tines on his one side. It's just so hard to tell. So we're gonna go get closer because nothing else is coming out. Might as well.
Tell you what, to travel 1.5 miles, which is what it was across the valley, it takes a long time and a lot of energy. Knee deep in the mucky water, or you're trying to walk on top of these rolling tussocks that just fold over under your feet. I watch Eric and Paul go through that stuff, and they got long legs, they're able to just power through that stuff. Me, I'm a very short person, I got little legs, it's tough. Tussocks, man, they're not my jam. So anyway, we eventually get across the valley, find a nice little moose trail. We get up to the knob, and I'm glassing, and I don't see any moose, and I'm like, okay. I'm just gonna crest over this hill. As soon as I skyline myself, boom, he's out in the open. Paul's like, he's out in the open. Like, we're busted.
Right as we came over the rise, I glassed, couldn't see him. So I was trying to get just over the rise to sit down to glass. That was stupid. And then he came out, and then I'm just standing on the skyline like an idiot. We ran over to the next knob to see if we can see him, but we can't.
He's gone. I don't get any footage. I don't get a chance to tell if he's legal. It's just a complete failure on my end. And I completely skylined myself. After walking through noisy alders, it was a dumb move. So we set up and we're glassing the rest of that day. And I gotta tell you what, it's a remarkable area, beautiful landscape. And yeah, it was just remarkable.
It's a great place. Lots of game. Just not the bull to shoot yet, but seeing plenty of moose, bears, sheep. It's wild.
We're gonna get down off the mountain. We got a long ways back to camp.
I love it up here. It's a fun place to be. We're like, we should probably think about moving camp next day and get up a little higher, see if we can get a little better vantage point.
Maybe where we were yesterday, but maybe the other side of the valley. We haven't decided yet, so.
Not much is going on in the morning. We see a couple cow moose, no bulls. We decided to pack up camp, move it up the valley, and
onward and upward. Well, downward first and then upward.
we're getting further and further in. Getting a moose out of here is going to be very interesting. Yeah, maybe Randy did have a valid concern about packing a moose 3 miles. Man, if we shoot one in here, the pack out is going to suck. But there's no way that's gonna stop me from shooting a moose in here. For that matter, 2 moose, because Paul also has a tag. I mean, if we see 2 bulls, we're definitely shooting 2 bulls.
We finally got up where we can see a little bit. Well, camp set up. I took a nice sleep, multi-hour sleep, which was really nice. But hopefully stuff starts moving soon. It's getting to be evening-ish. It's, I don't know, what, 6:30?
6:30, almost 7.
Almost 7. Morning of day 4.
So Eric finally has work off again and he's coming back in to join us.
Eric's gonna show up this morning, I think. We sent him an in-reach message last night where we're at, so he should be joining us today.
And then we realized that somehow the coordinates got mixed up and we're way off. He sends a message and he's like, hey, are you guys camped here? I can't find you.
So we see him over there. And so I don't know what we're doing now.
He's just like, you know what, guys, I'm just gonna camp here. I'm not gonna come all the way over today.
Yeah, it happens.
And unfortunately, the next few days were rough. We spent a lot of time behind the glass. I would hike up to different knobs, Paul would hike up to different knobs, and we'd set up and we'd glass, and then glass far distance, we'd glass down into other valleys and places that we probably shouldn't glass because there's no way we're ever gonna get a moose out of there.
I saw a moose going across this big meadow down here, but I got the spotting scope out and I didn't get it out in time to see what it was.
And we just cannot turn up a bull. And I don't know, it's this, we would see cow moose, we'd see cows and calves, we were seeing some black bears, we'd see the far distant specks of Dall sheep.
Just called, and then I just hear crashing brush below me, and this cow moose comes walking in. I mean, she's like 400 yards away.
I was really starting to regret that moose stalk on the first day and having messed that up. I screwed it up, just being dumb.
I mean, ideally we'll just kill moose in the morning, but man, we just really haven't been seeing much, so it's not looking super likely. So I'm walking through the alders, and here's a rabbit's foot. It's gotta be a sign, right? Lucky rabbit's foot. I'm not superstitious, but I'm not gonna pass up a lucky rabbit's foot. Well, Eric joined us after our mishap of camping or sending him the wrong coordinates, and so he was camping across the valley. But no one saw any bulls this morning, or really much for moose at all. So we have a change of plans.
While Paul and I are non-residents in Alaska, Eric is a resident, and he has a Dall sheep tag. And while Paul and I cannot hunt Dall sheep without a guide, Eric can. Let's go Dall sheep hunting.
Well, I haven't been able to hunt sheep for myself for years, so I don't remember what it's like. This is kind of a new experience for me, so this is gonna be fun.
Unfortunately, where the sheep live is outside of where my permit is valid for. And so I cannot take any video inside that area. I can, however, take photos.
But eventually we get up to the top and this is cool. It's bringing back flashbacks from last year. Eric glasses across the valley and he's like, hey, there's 10 rams over there. He's like, well, should we go after them? We got a few hours of daylight left. Paul and I look at each other and we're like, yep, let's go. We navigate through this little narrow valley. There's a stream running down through the rocks and we get up and Eric peeks over the ledge. He's like, oh, there they are. He gets out the spotting scope, starts looking, and he's just like, nope, none of them are legal. We couldn't find a legal sheep. We haven't found a bull moose in 4 days. It's not really looking like it's gonna be a successful hunt. That morning, we did go up to a knob, and right off the bat, Eric goes, there's a bull.
Eric just spotted a bull here. The road is there. It's tempting. It's very, very tempting, but also it's a very low probability stock.
We didn't have enough time to pack it out. We had already come to terms with that. We don't have enough time to pack this moose out. And realistically, with 3 of us, it'd probably take 3 days to pack it out, and we have less than 1 day. You know, I would love to take home a bunch of moose meat and I would love to see Eric shoot a doll sheep and take home some meat, but the adventure is equally as fun for me. While some people might say that this is an unsuccessful hunt, it really wasn't. It was a successful hunt in my book because of the amazing experience that we had.
It was an awesome trip hunting moose, but here's a little fishing segment. Now it's like, do I keep that thing? Oh, and there's a pixie sitting in that tree. Free lure. I have to go get that.